Hello YouTube, this is Joe and you're watching my variety channel. Today I'm going to show you 3 different ways of how to play Hound Dog, best made famous by Elvis Presley. Although the song was not originally by Elvis Presley. The song was originally done by a female music pioneer named Big Mama Thornton. And she played it in E-flat. You could play it by either setting your guitar to E-flat tuning or by having your capo on 1st fret. This is for the E-flat version. The chords for the E-flat version with capo on 1st fret. The chords are D, A-flat, G, D, A, G, D. But the key that I'll be covering for this video is in the key of C. So the song is very, very simple. It's just 3 chords. Chords are C. If you're a beginner and you want to learn this song to be your first, I would recommend this song. So the chords are C. You have your 1st finger on the 1st fret of the B string. You would have your 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the D string, and then your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the A string. So the notes you'd be holding down on your guitar would be C, E, and C. Like that. And for F, there are a couple of different ways you could do it. You could play it like as a bar chord. Or you could do an alternate fingering. Now the alternate fingering I'm using goes like this. You have your 1st finger on the 1st fret of the B string, and also on 1st fret of the E of the high E string. Then 2nd finger on 2nd fret of the G string, which would be A. Then 3rd finger on 3rd fret of the D string, which would be F. Or you could have just your 1st finger on C and put your 2nd finger on F. Then put your 3rd finger on A, and then put your pinky, your 4th finger, on the F, like this. I personally like to use that one because it's not easy to switch from a fingered chord to a bar chord. It's just easier like this. And then your last chord is G. So you would have your 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the A string for B. Your 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the low E string, which would be G. And then put your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the high E string to make the same note. Like this. So the order of the chords goes like this for Hound Dog. The chords go C, and then F, and back to C, then G, F, then C. So that's one way you could play Hound Dog. But if you're not comfortable playing it like this, I recommend using a capo. Now the capo I use is a Jim Dunlop USA capo that works for both 6-string and 12-string. Now, if you want to play Hound Dog with capo, you can put it on 3rd fret, and then just bring the chords down a couple of steps. So you would play the chords like as if you were going to play the song in the key of A. So for the key of A version, the chords are A. You would have your first finger on the 2nd fret of the D string, which would be E. You'd have your 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the G string, which would be A. And then 3rd finger on the 2nd fret of the B string, which would be C sharp or D flat. And then the next chord would be D. You put your first finger is on the 2nd fret of the G string, which would be A. No, wait. There we are. Your 2nd finger would be on the 2nd fret of the high E string, which would be F sharp or G flat. And then your 3rd finger would be on the 3rd fret of the B string, which would be D. Like this. Then you just strum from the D string. Like that. So, and then the last chord would be E. Be E like an elephant. So your first finger would be on the 1st fret of the G string, which would be G sharp or A flat. Your 2nd finger would be on the 2nd fret of the A string, which would be B, which would be the note B. And your 3rd finger would be on the 3rd fret of the D string, which would be E. And then you just strum all 6 strings. So the order of chords for the key of A version goes A, D, A, G, E, D, A. But if you put the capo on 3rd fret, you play the song in the key of C. But you would make the same fingerings as if you were playing the song in the key of A, like this. Or you could put your capo on the 5th fret of your guitar, but then play the chords as if you're playing the song in the key of G. Now the key of G version, I've already told y'all like where to put your fingers for the chords that are used in the song. Like in the key of C version, I went over where to put your fingers for the G chord, and in the key of C version, I went over where to put your fingers for the C chord. And the key of A version, I showed you where to put your fingers for the D chord. So the chords would be for the key of G version, if you were going to play Hound Dog in the key of G, this would be the order. It would be G, C, G, D, C, when you put your capo on the 5th fret, it shows you that will put your chords in to the key of C. So you would use your fingers like you were playing the song in the key of G. But with capo on 5th fret, it sounds like the key of C, like this. Like this, like that. Now, when it comes to what version to use, it depends on what you want to use the song for. Like if you were going to use the song for a stand-up comedy routine, you could play it. You could put your capo on 3rd fret and then play the song like you're playing it in the key of A. Like that. Or you could do it with capo on 5th fret and then play the song like in key of G. Or if you're doing the song, if you're covering the song, like if you're in a classic rock tribute band and you put that song on your set list and you have more than one guitarist, you could have someone play lead and play it without capo, so that way if they're playing the solos, the rhythm can keep the chords going. So if you're playing lead, I would not recommend using capo unless you know how to do a solo with capo on. I'll leave that to you. But if you're playing rhythm, you can use capo if you want. Excuse me. But it's entirely up to you. That's 3 different ways of how to play Hound Dog. 1 way without, and 2 ways with capo. So if you want to buy this capo for yourself to use for your guitar, I can put a link in the description below. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss any uploads on this channel. Until my next one, keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars.